Dan Willis here, and we're talking about Eagle Recovery Associates. Are you getting endless phone calls from Eagle Recovery Associates, or maybe letters demanding payment? Or maybe you've discovered they're reporting a collection on your credit reports. If so, you're in the right place. Eagle Recovery Associates is a third-party debt collection agency founded in 2004. They're headquartered in Peoria, Illinois, and claim to have recovered $106 million from consumers on behalf of their clients. They serve a variety of types of consumer accounts, including medical bill collections, retail accounts, and the service industry. The purpose of this video is to share how exactly to handle this inconvenient situation, exercise your consumer rights, protect your pocketbook, and your creditworthiness. And we need to start with the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, Fdcpa. This is federal legislation passed by Congress to regulate the debt collection industry. In other words, it's the rules. It says what time of day debt collectors can contact you, who they can talk to about your debt, what they can say, and much more. It's worth your detailed review at your convenience. It also requires debt collectors to be upfront and honest, along with providing you with that modicum of respect and dignity that every human being deserves. And yes, the FDCPA is violated just about as often as our drug laws. Now, does paying Eagle Recovery collections improve your credit? For many folks, their big concern is if paying off a collection will improve their credit. Naturally, and it makes sense if it did. But as of this video in 2020, no, it won't. You see, if all you do is pay collections and nothing more, the only thing that'll change is the status of that collection on your credit report. It'll go from an unpaid collection to a paid collection. This is still a negative credit report item, and it'll likely lower your credit score. Anthony Sprague, a spokesman for FICO, says having collections on your credit report can damage and drag your FICO score down by as much as 100 points. That's huge. In an article from 2020, the Experian Credit Bureau says, and we quote, "Consumers with collections on their credit reports are likely to have lower credit scores than consumers who have no collections. In addition to the potential impact to your credit scores, the presence of collections also can influence lender decisions," end quote. And we also have an article and the link in the description below, along with a free report available at our website, the 7 Proven Ways to Boost Your Credit Score. Visit and you can find a link over to the Experian article if you're curious. Part of the problem is when collections get paid. This can be viewed as recent account activity. So rather than it appearing like an individual is being financially responsible, instead to the credit scoring algorithm, it appears like someone just recently messed up, like they recently got a paid collection on their credit report. It can also potentially re-age the account. So you'll have that paid collection on your credit report for a maximum 7 years. Even if the account was already 5 years old, that payment is technically recent account activity. You see, the key to raising your credit score is to remove this collection entirely from your credit reports, as if it never happened. Because for many Americans, these dings, these collections, these late payments, charge-offs, that's the cause of a low credit score. And if you'd like some help, you can get a free credit report consultation by calling toll-free 1-844-517-7627. Now let's talk about Eagle Recovery and their collection tools. Along with the never-ending phone calls and letters, Eagle Recovery will report negative information on your credit reports. It's also common for debt collectors to inflate your total account balance. Legally, they can charge your account with a sky-high interest rate and, believe it or not, even collection fees. And depending on the size of your alleged debt, these can be significant sums of money. One of our members shared he'd been charged over $25,000 in collection fees and interest rate fees on a $50,000 student loan, granted with a different collection agency. Nevertheless, if Eagle Recovery is unable to collect payment, they typically have two options. First, they can sell the rights to your alleged account to yet another debt collector. Now, this new debt collector will begin contacting you and reporting negative information on your credit report. Alternatively, they can sue you. Yup, it's not uncommon for debt collectors to file civil lawsuits. Their goal is to win a judgment because then they've really got you by the short and curlies. This can potentially result in wage garnishment, liens placed against you and or your property, and possibly even asset seizure. Please investigate your local legislation for exact specifics, as every state has unique laws. And if you'd like a free credit report consultation, you can call toll-free 1-844-517-7627. Now, the very first step for all folks dealing with every debt collector is to exercise your consumer rights and specifically to request account validation. The Fair Debt Collection Practices Act gives you the right to request debt validation on your alleged account. This is how we tell the debt collector to prove it or provide us with a receipt if you prefer. After all, we didn't do any business directly with Eagle Recovery. They just showed up one day demanding payment. It's most effective to make your debt validation request in writing and send it using certified mail. Should you need it, this will give you a trail of evidence of your correspondence. Eagle Recovery is required to respond by furnishing you with the paperwork, documents, and evidence that does prove this is your debt, and everything's legit. This paperwork should also clearly show all the relevant account details, such as who the original creditor or lender was, account activity, balance, etc. If they fail to validate your debt for any reason, then you're no longer legally responsible for repayment. Moreover, they're supposed to contact all three of the credit bureaus to have them get this collections removed from your credit report files. And if you'd like to know more, we've got a link in the description below over to an article at our website for the full story, along with a free report available there, the 7 proven ways to boost your credit score. Now, next, if they do validate your account, our next step is to review this paperwork you get, and we need to review it in detail. You see, we're looking for your last dates of account activity because you're not legally responsible for repayment for most types of consumer debt forever. Typically, you're only legally responsible for about 7 years from the last date of account activity, and this is according to state law. This is called the Statute of Limitations, and it does vary by state. So for specifics, please check out your local legislation. This legal time window applies to the overwhelming majority of types of consumer debt, including medical debt collections, retail accounts, utilities, charge-offs, telecom, and more. One of the only exceptions is federal student loans in default. Warning. Yes, a warning. The debt collection industry is notorious for re-aging consumer accounts, as this enables them to continue to attempt to collect payment despite the debt no longer being legally enforceable. And if you'd like some more help, you can get a free credit report consultation by calling toll-free 1-844-517-7627. Again, that's for a free credit report consultation, and you can call toll-free 1-844-517-7627. We also have a link in the description below over to an article at our website for the full story, along with a free report there, the 7 proven ways to boost your credit score. And of course, subscribe and join our congregation, because coming up next, we're going to be talking about how to negotiate a settlement with Eagle Recovery Associates. And that's, of course, assuming your debt is validated and it's within the statute of limitations. So, of course, subscribe and join our congregation congregation. This is Dan Willis. Have a wonderful day and looking forward to talking to you again here soon.